Okay, so we are sitting here in the brand new 2020 Subaru Outback. And I'm going to do a whole video soon. Doing a walk around on the redesign to go over all the new stuff, compare it to the 2019s, showing all the differences that we have in the new ones. But today I wanted to do a whole video specifically just going on the new head unit. It's 11.6 inch display. Subaru has moved a lot of other buttons that we had to everything in the screen. Can be a little overwhelming, but it actually is pretty straightforward once you get the hang of where everything is. So this is going to be pretty in-depth, actually going to everything, how to use everything, how to change stuff into the settings. So hopefully after this, any questions you have will be answered. So the screen is separated basically into three separate parts. You have your top section right here, which is kind of like a quick view kind of thing where you can kind of change some stuff. You have all your apps here for obviously for your navigation, if you have navigation in your Outback, you know, your radio stuff, Bluetooth, that's all in here. And then the separate bottom piece right here is all the climate controls. So starting off at the top of the screen here, so you always got your outside temperature, your clock and everything, and then you can kind of swipe through this. So this right now is going to show your music, whatever you have playing, whether that's radio, Bluetooth, CD player, all that stuff. Hit the side arrow. This will bring up your navigation. This will show you your next turn. Again, if your Outback has navigation, that will pop up there. Next one, this is your widgets. So right now we have it set to your compass, calendar, and the speed limit of the current road that you're on. You can change these in the settings. There are a couple options to choose from. Weather, and then your X mode, which before that used to be a hard button, but that's now in here. You can just press that, turns X mode on. You can see it kind of changes everything there. And then down in the screen now, so you have all your apps, your navigation, which is through TomTom. Shows up the full screen. Obviously, you know, you can pinch it and everything to do all that. Hit your menu for all your current routes and everything. That's all in there, and that's your home button down here at the bottom of the screen. Radio, they kind of changed the look of it, but it's pretty much, you know, it's pretty straightforward. FM, AM, Sirius XM. You do still have a tune knob, and you do still have a volume knob over here, but obviously your presets again just down here, whatever station you're on. If you want that to be a preset, you can press and hold, and then now that's a preset down there. Media, pretty straightforward. Anything through USB ports, which are down here, your two USB ports and an auxiliary port, little storage tray for your phone, and there is an optional accessory you can get to get a wireless charger installed in there. iPod, iPhone stuff, auxiliary port, and anything through there. There is the option of a CD player that is an accessory. It's not built into the screen. If you do get that installed, that goes into the center armrest right here. It's actually another piece that gets installed right here, so you have a little slot there for a CD if you want to get that put in. Phone is obviously just straight in, going to connect your phone through the Bluetooth. Apps, you got a couple things in here. So Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, that is standard on all Subarus now. Obviously it's just blacked out. Once you plug in your phone to the USB, those will be lit up. Subaru Starlink, that's an app that they're still using. It's basically kind of like a media interface from your phone to the car. It'll allow you to use navigation that's kind of built into this app right here, but using it through your phone. I do recommend Apple CarPlay and Android Auto now. That does work a lot better. It's kind of an app that Subaru had that, you know, made sense a couple years ago, but now it's, you know, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto just gonna work a little bit better. Sirius XM Travel Link, this you get free for 4 years. This will pull up gas stations, prices, and all that stuff. You can set up stuff for sports, stocks, weather alerts, parking, all that stuff, all in that app. And then your other app is your My Subaru app. So that basically allows you to access your car through your phone. It allows you to lock and unlock your doors, you know, activate your horn and lights, remote start your car. You can even, you know, adjust the temperature in your car, turn on the heated seats. Some of those functions are limited to certain models. Not all, you know, you have to have a push button start car. in order to be able to start it through the phone, and in order to be able to adjust your climate controls, you have to have an automatic climate control. You can do all that in this Outback, but if you go to, for example, like an entry-level model Outback, you won't be able to remote start it through your phone. Then again, your car info. This has some cool stuff on here. So this is kind of like your off-roading stuff. This will show if the car's at any kind of angle, and this is actually your all-wheel drive system, your all-wheel drive train. It'll actually show it when you're driving. You can see the wheels turn. That way, if there's a certain wheel that doesn't have any traction or anything like that, you can see it. Useful information that you would want if you are, taking your car off-roading, which a lot of Subaru people do. Advanced package. This is a nice thing I like that they did here. This shows you all your safety features. The green stuff is the stuff that's currently on. The only one that's not on here, this is the automatic high beams, which we don't have on. But this is the driver focus system. This is the pre-collision braking, lane departure warning. This is your heads-up display, blind spot detection, and reverse automatic braking. So it shows you what's currently on, and the cool thing is you can actually hit those and it'll bring up this whole screen that actually tells you what everything does and where you can go to turn it on and off, which is pretty cool. Before, Subaru just kind of had that stuff as buttons laid out in the car. Sometimes you'd have some of the buttons would be kind of up here and some of them used to be down here. Kind of works a little bit better now. Have it all in here digitally. Actually tells you what everything does. And I will make a whole separate video going into Subaru's EyeSight system, how that works, and all the features that are kind of with that. But again, it just kind of shows you everything that this car has. And again, we're in a loaded limited, so this pretty much has all the safety features you could want. And then maintenance here, this is where you can set maintenance reminders for your oil, tires, and stuff like that, by mileage, date, and everything. So you will get a reminder when that stuff comes up, which is pretty cool. And then obviously in your settings, kind of gonna go into this, not too crazy because there is just a ton of stuff now. All your little tabs are at the top. Obviously this is where you're gonna go in for your clock, Wi-Fi hotspot, which you do have that. That is through AT&T if you want to set that up. You do have obviously reminder screen, cameras. You can change, rear camera timeout for your backup camera, stuff for your climate control. Language, tire pressure units, all that stuff is in here. And this is also, we're going to go in for those widgets. Show you now we have compass, calendar, speed limit. So you can hit one of those and this shows you what all the different ones you can choose from: your water temperature, oil temperature, acceleration, weather, all that stuff. You can change that. You can set birthdays in here, which your car will tell you happy birthday, which is kind of cool. Software updates, because sometimes there are updates to these head units. You can do those yourself as long as you have a Wi-Fi connection. So if you park in your driveway near your house, you can hook up to the Wi-Fi in your house, do the updates if there is anything in here. Going into sound, obviously this, we're going to change all the settings for the sound. Any kind of beep, volumes, navigation guidance volume. If you have your phone connected, this is where you're going to change the ringtone volume, call volume, all that stuff is all in here. And then navigation, so this is where you're going to change a whole bunch of stuff in here. Route preferences if you want to avoid highways, tolls, all that stuff in here. Hit the arrow over. Phone, if you have your phone connected, settings for that, settings for the radio, car stuff. So this is where you're going to go in to change all the settings for the EyeSight. This is one where I want to spend a little bit more time in, but you go into the EyeSight. So you have your pre-collision braking. You can actually hit the little arrow, and again it pops up that stuff telling you exactly what everything does. It detects a potential collision and warns the driver, applies brakes to minimize impact or prevent collision. Turn it on or off. Lane departure prevention function, you could turn that. So we're going to go in to turn it off. They kind of combined the lane departure warning and the lane keep assist kind of into one thing now, where it used to be separate. But now you can choose to have it just buzz at you, just a lane departure function where the actual steering wheel itself is going to nudge you back where you need to go, or just turn the whole thing off. Cruise control acceleration characteristics. What that means is when you're in the adaptive cruise control and you're driving, and let's say you have your speed set to 60, car pulls in front of you, that car's going 50, it is going to automatically slow you down. Once that car moves out of your way, or if they speed up, you will automatically accelerate back up to the speed that you had set. So what you can choose here is how aggressively you want the car to accelerate when that happens. So level 3 is kind of the standard, and then you can go higher than that or go all the way down 1, which is eco. Lead vehicle acquisition sound and lead vehicle moving monitor. That's a system in here where, let's say you're stopped at a red light, the car in front of you goes. If you don't start going, it will kind of do a little beep to let you know. It'll pop up a little picture here saying, hey, the car in front of you is going, to kind of give you that heads up, and in case you are not paying attention. Reverse automatic braking, that's just the alarm for there. We can go to turn that off. If you want to actually turn the reverse automatic braking off, we actually have to go put the car in reverse, and it pops up your backup camera. As you can see here, reverse automatic braking, you would just press and hold that. It's going to turn that off. These are the parking sensors. You hear the beep because I'm close to that Forester, and that turns that off. I'm going to hit that to turn that back on. Driver monitoring system. So this is a new system that Subaru introduced in the Forester back in 2019. It's basically this little strip right here. You kind of have a camera. What that system does is when you get in the car, it's going to scan your face. It does a couple things. One of it is to combat distracted driving. So if you're driving and you're staring off to the side, or you're looking down, if you do that for more than a couple seconds, it is going to beep at you. It's going to say, pop up a little message here saying, hey, keep your eyes on the road, and knows you're not looking forward. But another feature that it has is that you can actually program the side mirror positions. You can program the memory seats and all that stuff. So if someone else is driving, you get back in your car, it scans your face, it knows what you like, and it's going to adjust everything back to the way you had set it. It'll even adjust some stuff in here, for like your Bluetooth setting, radio presets, all that stuff. It will do that. Auto attract seat on entries, another new feature they have, where basically you get in the car, it's going to put the seat all the way back so you can get in, and then it'll put it back forward. But that's the whole system. This is where you're going for the facial scan. You can go into registered users and all that stuff. Then once you have somebody registered, this is where you're going to go into delete everything in there. The defogger, that's just the defrost button here, because Subaru has the back window, the side mirrors, and the windshield wiper deicer all integrated into that one button. So you push this, turns that on. So the defogger is, you can have that set if you want it to run for 15 minutes and then cut off, or if you want it to run continuously until you choose to turn it off. Auto light sensor is just this auto sensing for the lights. When it knows it's dark out, to put your headlights on, you can change the sensitivity of that. Auto door lock and unlock, you can change the settings of when the doors automatically lock and unlock. If you wanted to unlock the doors when you put it in park, if you wanted to lock when you put it in drive, or you get to a certain speed, you can do that. Power rear gate setting, that's where you go in to set the memory function for the power rear gate, which I do have another video showing you how to set that. Your traction control here, auto vehicle hold, AVH. That's a system that if you decide to put that on, what it's going to do is when you are driving and you're stopped, your foot on the brake, you can actually take your foot off the brake, and it's going to keep the brake on the car so you can rest your foot. Kind of useful, if you're going to like a drive-through or something like that, you don't actually have to put your car in park. Blind spot detection, rear cross traffic alert. Blind spot detection is that black piece of glass right here on the side mirrors. If you want to turn those off, that's where you're going to turn it off in there. Again, you do this all tell the option X mode here, though you do have it at the top as well. Your steering responsive headlights, if you want to turn that off. The warning volume, that's for your lane departure warning, the pre-collision braking, all those beeps. You can adjust the volume for that in there. And then units, which you pretty much don't really want to mess with. So that goes over basically all the stuff here in the screen. And then this is your climate controls down here. I want to like what Subaru did. A lot of people don't like that this is all integrated here, but I think they did it the right way, where this doesn't go away. No matter what it is you're doing up on this screen, your climate control stuff is always down here, so you don't have to get out of this and get into a whole separate screen. You do have the hard buttons here for the temperature to change it there. A quick on-off button to turn everything on or off. Hitting this will bring up your heated seats, because you do have the 3-stage heated seats in the Outback. And then you can adjust the climate again here through this, or tapping the buttons, and again you do have the hard buttons over here off to the side. Dual zone climate control system, so you can have separate temperatures for the passenger side and their heated seats. And then if you hit this will bring up everything here where you can change the vents, and it's kind of cool because you have the graphics showing you exactly where everything is going to come out of, and you can adjust the fan speed as well. And if you stop touching that, it will kind of go away on its own after a little while. I think that's all I got. That goes over pretty much everything on the new head units on the new 2020 Subaru Outback. The Legacy will be the exact same thing. Again, you might see a couple changes depending on the equipment that's in your car, because again, I'm testing this out on a loaded limited Outback, so it's going to have pretty much everything that you could get. These new head units are on all the new Outbacks and Legacies other than the entry-level models. If you choose the entry-level models, you will have 2 smaller screens that do the same stuff again, but it's just not the one big. You're going to have 2, I believe they're about 2 6 or 7 inch screens. The one at the top will be for all your, basically all the apps. The one at the bottom will be the climate control system. And that's all I got. If you guys have any questions, please leave them in the comment sections. I will do my best to get to all of those. Thank you guys. Have a good one.